All right. The Hills officially back on the 24th, 10 p.m. MTV. We are joined by most of the cast of The Hills. And I'll be honest, I thank each and every one of you guys. We got Frankie, Jen, Jason, Ashley, and of course, Justin, Bobby. All right, let's talk about on the 24th, when The Hills picks up, are we supposed to act like we had no idea about the last episode when The Hills was on, that everything was scripted? Are we picking up like nothing happened like they do on TV most of the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
New production, new team. We've all poured our hearts into this, our families. We've just expressed all the reality we could show, on
This is real. It's different. It's raw.
Now, see, when The Hills first started, this is the same thing that we got. The Hills was real.
Yeah.
And then as we learned towards the end of the first go around, it wasn't real.
I think it was to play with the mind.
So you're mind deafing everybody.
Once you see the way it's shot, it's definitely in a realistic
It was like
form.
a joke.
Yeah, the way that it panned out last time was more of a. It was
more of a play on everybody, like trying to play everybody else, but in reality,
because everybody asked, is it real or fake? So I mean, they just basically
I thought it was
pretty
ending.
smart.
It was very
funny.
Sopranos-esque ending, where it was very debatable. Where it was like, no, they were joking, no, they were real, maybe they were joking. So I figured
Sopranos was the worst ending ever.
No, why? Open-ended.
I hate that.
Yeah, we gave you a cliffhanger.
Exactly, a cliffhanger, and then we wait a few years, but now we're back on the 24th MTV. Well, let's talk about the new faces. We're talking Brandon, Misha Barton. Is Misha as drama-filled as the world makes her seem to be?
I think Misha has such a beautiful soul, and she's just a little bit of misunderstood.
Yes.
That was very politically driven answer right there, but
she's misunderstood.
She's misunderstood. So we're seeing a different Misha out there than you got to see filming.
100%.
Yeah, and she's getting to parlay herself, her side, her story.
Now, what about Brandon?
I think it's great to see this.
Is it great to see him, or is it great to see his mom?
Well, his mom, but
you're getting Pam and Tommy all in one.
Yeah,
rendition.
Brandon's such a. He reminds me so much of like Brody when we were growing up, and he's still got that,
the younger vibe. Yeah,
he brings the youthfulness to the show.
Brody 2.0.
Yeah,
now, Jason, I ask you this because Perez Hilton, of course, we all know him, very familiar. He says he's petitioned to be on the show, and he could bring more drama than Misha. Is it possible? And would you be open to it?
Oh, why is that asked to me, man? I mean, look, I think Misha brings a really cool element to the show. I like the fact that, from her original series, The OC, it really inspired, Laguna Beach and the Hills, which I think is a cool dynamic. I think that was creatively, in my perception, it was genius to kind of put that all together, because without that inspiration, we wouldn't be here with what we have today. So I'm going to stick to, keeping Misha on the show. I like Misha, and I think she brings a lot of value to it.
So no Perez. He says he wants to be on the show, and he was told no.
Well, not my decision.
Would you be open to it, though?
I'm welcome to anybody, man. I have no bias.
All right, fair. No, I just asked because he's very adamant about the fact that he missed out on his opportunity about being on the Hills. I figured you guys are here. Ask the facts.
What do you think, Frank?
Oh, he's like.
Wait, he tried to be on the show.
He wants to be on the show. He petitioned to be on the show.
I'm truly friends with everybody that I'm in the cast.
And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he might make a little appearance on it. So there he goes.
He got his opportunity then.
Yeah. I think he might.
All right, because
find out.
he said I'll bring more drama than Misha.
He's very close with Spencer and Heidi. They're really good friends, so he might pop in every now and then.
All right,
we'll see.
All right.
I don't know.
Loss of words. Well, all right. So what would you say out of the whole season, without giving anything away, the biggest fight that is going to leave everyone talking on Tuesday morning?
We don't know. We filmed so much stuff.
You don't remember all the fights that you had?
There was a lot. There was a lot of stuff. We don't know
a lot of filming. Like it's a huge cast.
Of course.
So we don't know what's
going to. There's a lot of us, and there's. I think that the most.
We don't even know what.
I think on this side of Hills 2.0 per se, the new beginning, you get to see everybody individually now. Before it was Lauren's show, and we were all like in Lauren's Hills. This has been more about Justin and his career and what he's driven by, and it's a little bit more of like individually, but putting it together at the end, like the glue. I like we all glued up together again, and we put the pieces to the puzzle, and everybody's like Justin's one of the best on the show because of his uniqueness, right?
Right.
Thanks,
You haven't seen me be
Still riding your motorcycle?
oh yeah.
be a father figure, a husband, and also I'm still in the party scene. Jason had an addiction problem in the past, and now he's surpassed that, and now he's such an inspiration to people. There's a lot of us that you haven't seen in Heels 1.0 to Heels 2.0.
All right, let's. Do we still get Natasha Bedingfield at the opening credits?
I hope so. She's
Oh,
my
you don't
favorite.
know?
We don't know.
We don't know.
Oh, man.
We
You
don't
gotta
know.
think.
You would think.
You gotta
think.
you gotta
what,
think. I mean,
what else would they play?
I mean, all right. So I'm sure you've seen it too on your Twitter feeds once it came out. There's positives and the negatives, but I figured let's make fun of the fact that the people that are going to end up watching, but still had some not so nice things to say. So I have a few mean tweets.
I'll call everybody out.
But that's the thing. If you have a Twitter,
This one's funny.
go for it.
Louisa at Weezer J says, it still really stresses me out 13 years later that Lauren turns down an internship in Paris to be with a F-boy who cheats on her because if she goes and pursues her dream, he'll leave her forever, be known as the girl who didn't go to Paris. That's like
But at
hilarious.
13, she's still out of everything in her life.
She's still upset about something
She's
that
still
happened
hung up
13
years ago.
It's
So
hilarious.
13 years ago, this girl did.
think this
Is talking
one-
about
She was
this?
probably
Go to
not even
Paris.
born. She probably is 13 and watched it for the first time.
Hey, at Weezer, Jay.
It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be
Lauren
okay.
has a baby and
She's done
And
very
a life,
well.
and
she's pregnant.
And pregnant.
And pregnant.
And pregnant,
yeah.
and she's done very well, and she has a beautiful mansion, and she's living her life, and has a Kohl's deal and all this stuff. Like she's great.
She's doing all right. We don't have
she,
to.
She didn't have to go to Paris.
Exactly. It all worked out for her in the end.
Everything
Yeah.
happens for a reason, man.
Coco C is like Coco Chanel C is like the Hills is coming back. Like what? I mean, they're like 40 now. Listen, you little.
No, I'm 38. I'm the
Get your
grandpa, and I'm
facts straight.
38.
We're in the
not
30s
even 40 yet.
now. Minus Brandon. He's the baby.
Yeah, we got somebody in their 20s, man.
Well, outside of Brandon, is Brandon the youngest on
Yes.
on the cast?
Yes,
That, no, actually, no.
definitely.
Actually, the baby's Gunner's
Well, yeah,
the
there's
youngest
the
in
baby.
cast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Baby's
and
Our
gone.
kids.
Our
But
kids
he's
are
right there with
youngest.
him. He's just as young.
Hey, they're just as young.
Yeah, well, yeah. So if all your kids go, hey, can we see the first, where you guys started and how you all became friends? Are you open to sitting down and going back and watching
yeah,
watching the
definitely.
past?
I would definitely use it as a learning tool,
100%.
man. I mean, I think for
Education
me,
is
learning
key.
too, well,
I mean, I think that's the thing for me is going through all the trials and tribulations of substance abuse and mental health. It's something that's so relevant today,
Right.
And
Something
in our
that really
society.
wasn't talked about when the first go around of the
Well, we
Hills
didn't have
came
as
out.
much. There was so much stigma associated with it. And it wasn't, something that was talked about. And there's so much more knowledge around it today that it's something you can utilize as a platform. That's really why I'm, going back on here is I want to really show that you can transform your life and that recovery is possible and you can enjoy life.
Well, and I mean, many of things too. There's the fact that something as serious as that hasn't been talked about. The fact that Twitter and Instagram was really just getting started at the fact. So are you ready for that side of this whole, lifestyle of the instant response as opposed to fan mail?
I think it's hard too because with that being said, you have to remember that these people are seeing a little portion of our lives.
Right.
So they don't get to see it as a big picture. So all that stuff you can't really take to heart because they're not really seeing every single bit of your life. There's a huge cast. They're seeing each of you individually.
Speak for yourself.
Well,
I take it
if
to
they're
the
gonna
heart. Every
It's hard.
hater, I will.
Frankie's
respond.
going to be up until
Just
4 a.m.
don't.
responding to
Well,
tweets.
no,
You just can't
Do
let
you
it
guys
get to you.
remember
They don't
Stacy the
personally know
bartender?
you.
This one's crazy. Rewatching Laguna Beach and the Hills, and I still now hate that bitch ass Heidi. This shitty ass husband from Brianda at Sosa _ Brianda.
I mean, I think the hate for Spencer and Heidi will always be
yeah.
there, no matter what.
Okay, but can we give them an applause?
Of course.
To
They're
the haters,
still-
to all you haters out there for Spencer and Heidi, they made it 10 years married.
Yeah.
Yes,
Which
it's
in
amazing.
Hollywood
So,
terms,
does that
that's
mean-
100+ years.
Does that mean soulmate?
Yes.
It does,
yeah.
right?
They're soulmates. They
10
are
years
thick as
together,
thieves.
having a kid, they actually proved everybody wrong. And I
Mhm.
hate that people hate on them because they actually loved each other and they stuck
Yeah,
they
they
stuck by
wanna
it
get-
together.
Well,
really
again,
wa-
it goes back to seeing what they see on TV, though.
They went against
But it
all
does-
odds.
Yeah,
to
they
be
went
honest,
against
to be
all
honest.
us, all the haters, everybody, and they're still together. They couldn't. Nobody could like.
Yeah, I think you have
them apart.
you have to give them credit. I mean, look at where they were,
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be
10 years ago to where they are today.
You really need to watch and see the series because it's really amazing to see how thick and how strong they are as a couple and where they are now in their life. And it's cool to see how everyone has evolved and the changes that everyone's made in their lives and some not.
Well,
So-
who would you say out of everyone on the cast is the biggest pot stirrer?
Justin
Stephanie.
Bobby for sure. I'm just kidding.
I think you know what it's not the pot stir. It's just the one who is not afraid to hold back and say anything. And I believe it's Stephanie.
100%.
Stephanie is like
Stephanie Pratt
She's-
she has
No filter.
no filter.
No filter.
It's like having
Yeah.
coffee with all the grounds. She has no filter.
yeah, but then think about what we're in. We're in reality television.
Of course.
So what are you gonna do? Not do? What
No,
you're
it'd be
supposed to
boring.
do? Yeah, exactly.
It would be boring. You
So
need the
everybody
you need the
gives her a
Stephanies of
bunch
the
of
world.
guff, and she needs a lot more credit than she gets because it's tough to go out there and put yourself out there all the time and get your stuff in everybody's business and be like, what's going on, what's happening, and then showcase it.
When you guys first started filming, was it weird getting back into the grind of having people in your house 24/7 for however long you guys filmed? Coming from a week before, you were just back to being quote unquote normal.
I just hate all the tapes that they leave for the cameras, the lighting, and stuff on
In your house.
on all my walls. And
I just got the finish done on the.
Yeah, and it's crazy. No, but hey, we signed up for it, so it's pretty cool.
All right, so MTV,
Yeah, man, there you go.
MTV 24, 10 p.m. Welcome back to the Cast of the Hills, guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.